Hello everyone, Wayne here. Should be live. Let's have a look. We are live. There we go. So, there we go. Let's tag some people in, everyone. There we go. So welcome to this week's hot seat. Hopefully you can hear me. Facebook did not want to play ball last week. It was a site-wide issue, not my end. It was actually Facebook. Leonard, how are you, mate? Vicky, hope you're well. Let's get those comments coming in. Nandana, hope you're well. Renata, hope you're well as well. So, if you're not aware what the mega hot seat is, I like the word mega, so it's the hot seat. We just put, hope you're well, Diana, Mary, we just put the word mega at the start of hot seat, just because it makes sense. Just because, ho ho ho, says David. I made it. There you go, lots of people coming on now. I can see all the comments. Linda, Jamu, hope you're well. Cheryl, Jawaria, hope you're well. So the hot seat, I have got the man flu still. It's not that bad. I think I can handle it. I think I can handle this man flu. But every week we bring on different guests. Okay. If you know me, you know that I like to help people. Nessie, hope you're well, buddy. I like to help people beat their fears. Okay. With the age of AI, there's lots of AI out there. I think it's becoming more important to do things like jumping on camera, putting your face out there. Because AI is slowly taking over, and I don't think it'll be long before people want to realise, Colleen, hope you're well, people realise that they want a real person behind something, okay? I don't think people are going to trust AI fully. So I think for people like me and people like our special guest, we're going to, Paul, hope you're well, mate, and Valerie, we're going to stand out, okay, as people that don't mind jumping on camera. Saying that, this is my special guest first time on camera. The same as everyone, a lot of people that come on the hot seat. He's very nervous. The first live he's ever been on. So treat him well. Ask him loads of questions. He's got a voice for radio. Literally has a voice for radio. An awesome guy. He's been with us a little. Happy hot seat. I like that, Melanie. Happy hot seat. He's been with us a little while. He's now kind of came back after a little while. But I'm going to introduce our special guest. We're just going to do a little sound test first of all. Of all the issues we had, I think I finally sorted them. Man flu. So, Herman, how are you, mate? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I'm all right. I'm doing all right. Excited to be here.
Okay, you're not nervous yet. That's good.
Well, we'll find out.
I don't know if they can hear me now. That's the only problem. Always something. There we go. Add existent. There we go.
Blessings of technology.
Yeah, they should be able to hear me now, I think. So just let me know that you can hear me and you can hear Herman as well. Just let me know in the comments down below. There's no echoes or anything like that. Yes, we can hear you both. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic.
Excellent.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like I said, Herman's got a voice for radio. You can see why now.
Okay.
That's
what you were saying.
Yeah. Not like my dulcet Norfolk tones, my twang, as I call it. Yes, can hear you both well. Brilliant. So, Herman, before we get started, it's your role now. It's your job, mate, to confidently go out there and share a bit about yourself. Share what you do, what you've tried before, how you made your hundreds of millions of dollars, everything you can.
Well, it's interesting because I come originally from Latin America, and I actually started doing affiliate marketing in Latin America. The problem was back then that every time I did something and I generated some income, by the time it was the times with checks, I'm talking 1999. So I actually had to wait for a check to be mailed from the US to where I was living, then cash it. By the time it just came out, all the money was already spent. So it was very, it was very hard. And I always had the dream of doing this, or better said, only doing this. Like leave the 9 to 5. But it was always like on and off and on and off. And that's been the story of my life. And I guess it's what happens to almost everybody, right? Like the shiny object syndrome. You see this and you want it, and you think this time this is really going to work. And in the end, I moved to Europe. I live now in Germany. And now I'm thinking, okay, this is definitely, well, when I found OLSP, it was actually traffic dominators when I actually found you guys.
Yep.
It was no OLSP. And I thought, okay, this is more like goes more with my principles, because I've always thought uh, I want to help people. I just don't want to sell, 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 just like transactions,
Yep.
but like actually interact with people, help people, and be involved, having a relationship with people. And that's one of the things from the beginning that I saw you doing. And I thought, okay, this is something that I would like to do. The problem I always had was like the job in the real world that I had is something I actually like. And I like the people that I work with.
Oh
And
wow,
that's
that's
been always
that's good.
and that's been a problem because most people have like, I hate my job, and that pushes me like in the other direction. And in my case, it's like I love both, right? And it's one of the things that makes it a little bit harder, I guess.
Brilliant. So you like your job. You said something pretty interesting. Something that I believe, Lynn, I hope you're well. Something that I believe everyone needs, which is that you need to be consistent. A lot of people will go from thing to thing to thing, thinking it's the thing, but it's not. It's actually you. There's a saying, and I want everyone to remember this. When you point your finger at someone else, there's 3 pointing back at it. I'll always remember that. I'll always remember someone telling me that, because it's true. Okay, all those things you're scared of doing, like jumping on camera, I can hear in your voice. It's breaking a little bit. It's probably what I was like on Saturday doing the live event. Maybe, I don't know. What do you do for a living? And how did you actually get started in affiliate marketing?
I actually, I'm an accountant
Never
by
mind, mate.
trade, but I hated it from the beginning. That I did actually hate. So I actually learned IT by myself. I'm talking
Nice.
about almost 35 years ago. And that's what I've done most of my life. And interestingly, in this last job that I was until recently, I did both things. So accounting and IT. So it was like, okay, all right.
Nice. Okay, that's cool. So, what attracted you specifically to OLSP or Traffic Dominators that was back then? And how long have you been with us now? You've been with us a little while,
I think
haven't
it
you?
was like at least 4 years or something. It was started with Traffic Dominator, but officially in OLSP as a VIP 2022. So 2 years, basically.
2 years. Wow.
2 years, yeah.
Um, Go on.
Yeah, no, and what attracted to me to OLSP and the whole thing was, number one is the training, the amount of training that you have. Because at that time back then, I was thinking, okay, I had to do like solo ads,
Yep.
and you had like a solo ads email training that you signed up for, and that's how I actually got to meet you. And I started buying and selling, well, not selling, but buying solo ads and selling affiliate products with solo ads, and I had some success with that. And But then somehow it was like, yeah, it's so transactional. You don't know anybody. You write your emails and they very seldom get opened, and people don't respond. There's no interaction. And I do like to talk to people. I do like to interact with people, and that was like very, like dry.
Yeah.
It was just transactions. And then I started, coming to your lives in OLSP in the group, and slowly I just got like, yeah, this is exactly what I like. This is what I like the most, and it because it goes with my principles. Yeah, it matches. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. No, it's man. It's not a cold, Ruse. It's man flu. It's proper man flu I've got. It's not just a cold. I don't get colds. I get man flu every time. Um, And that's the thing. Like a lot of people are like, I don't want to put my name out there. I don't want to put my name on the emails. That's why solo ads are so appealing, because a lot of the time, you know, in the beginning when I started, I was like, oh, that's good. I can just put a pen name in there. But
Yeah, exactly. A persona.
yeah, you could put someone else's name. I think I was Sandra and Barbara and all sorts of wonderful names. But then you realise, like, why do I feel the need to do that? If I actually want to help people, why am I not using my real name? Okay, so like a lot of people want to do faceless and nameless marketing, but you need to ask yourself, why are you going to do that? Because everyone, it's something I realised, everyone on your email list is a real person. Okay, so I see people promoting solo ads and
Unless they're bots.
yeah, promoting Warrior Plus offers, and I think I used to do that, and I don't really want to do that much anymore. Matty, I hope you're well. Is that kind of how you felt?
Yeah, exactly. And then I met another affiliate marketer. I still follow him and his thing because his philosophy, and he actually gave it a name, and I went like, "Whoa, that's interesting." And what he was mentioning, the expression yeah, normally they tell you be a go-getter, go-getter, go get. But if you look at what it actually means, go and get. It's from there to you. And he said, no, what you need to be, you have to be a go-giver.
Love it.
So, and
love it.
He went like, okay, be a go-giver. And there's actually a book, and there's a guy called Bob Berg, I think is his name, and he wrote a book called Go Giver. And when I read that book, I went like, whoa, this is completely different. This is like more like I would like to do. Help people, have relationships with people, and then you basically get automatically the know, like, and trust from people. If you help them, they know, number one, that you're real. Number two, that you can help them. And if you offer or present something afterwards, then they'll be willing to use it, right? So, yeah, so that was a path that started recently where I went like, okay, this is the path I want to follow. And that's why I'm here.
Fantastic. One of the things we talked about Saturday at the in-person event, guys, we have got another in-person event coming up in April. We talked about give, but I actually prefer be a good giver. I love that. I'm going to use that. I don't know who it is, but I'm going to use that because that is perfect. Because a lot of people will give with the expectation of then taking as well,
Exactly.
but that's not even the way you do it. You give, and karma actually works the rest out. That's what I believe. You don't give to take. You give, and just let karma work the rest out, and it works. It's a bit more than that, but it's kind of sounds like a win-win. Exactly, Rose. Melanie has asked, what exactly is the man flu? So, Melanie, when you get the flu, okay, it's kind of I think it's an English joke. I think it's a England joke. When my wife gets the flu, she carries on like normal, okay? When my mum get the flu, probably when you get the flu, you just carry on like normal. But when us men get it, it's not just the flu, it's man flu. It's 10 times worse, and it's just because we like...
Suffer.
Yeah, just because we like mooning, really. So we call it man... It's a bit of a... I thought that was all over the world, but I mentioned it last night, and what is man flu? I never heard of that before. It's just a joke. It's like an English joke, I think.
It's the British thing, yeah.
Yeah, but it can be serious, okay? This is just like man flu. If I had proper man flu, I'd be in bed crying, okay? I think that's the way it go. So what challenges have you faced, Herman? What challenges you faced in your journey, and how did you overcome them, more importantly?
Well, one of the ones that it was the biggest, at least it was a mental challenge, I would say, was I had to overcome that. Okay, I come from a poor country, and English is not my first language to start with. So I've always thought, hey man, I have to overcome that, and it's from these little tiny countries. The countries in Central America is called Honduras, and it's like, whoa, how can I be and do something when it's so complicated? But over time, one of the things I did was, okay, I moved, geographically to a different place.
Yeah.
And I ended up where I'm now, in Germany. And however, it was a mental thing.
Herman's a German name, though, isn't it?
Herman is a German name, yes. Herman Bock is definitely 100%, million% German name. My
Yeah,
father was German.
makes
My
sense.
mother is from Venezuela, so there's a mixture there. But I got his name exactly, so definitely. And I ended up here, and the thing was like I still thought like that at the beginning, even though I was here. So I realized it's not the place, it's the mind. You still think like that because wherever you go, you are with yourself, right? So if you think in a certain way, if you don't change your mindset, you're still gonna think like that. That's the one thing, and the other thing I'm still fighting with is the consistency thing.
Yes.
That's something you always have to be like, forcing yourself. And I think one of the things that helps with that is creating a routine. And that's what I'm working on right now, trying to create a routine that is has as little friction as possible.
It
Like where the microphone is just set to just turn the computer on, Microsoft here, video there. If I go live, then it's immediately there. I don't have to set up stuff and think, I'm not doing that today because it's too complicated. That
lo-
type of thing.
I love that, Herman. Mindset and consistency. Herman's surname is Bock, Bock. For everyone, but it is all mindset, mate. But what you realise is, like, instead of hiding away English is my first language and yada yada, you use that as part of your story. Like, you use that English, like, because everything's part of your story. That's what you have to. People love stories. I don't really like storytelling, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
But if someone I'm watching tells me a story, it makes me feel connected to that person. So you should always be telling that story, always. And as for consistency, okay, this is something, guys. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. I thought back to when I worked at the factory. I think I worked there, 7, 8 years. I think I was late twice. I think I was ill probably 4 times. But I turned up on time every day. Do you know what I mean? I was in that routine. It never fazed me. I just turn up. I press the buttons that I need to press for 8 to 12 hours a day. It just becomes a habit, doesn't it? It became a habit. And the thing is, obviously, I know at the end of it, I'm getting that wage bill. When you start out, it's very different. When you start out in anything new, any business, it can be in a traditional business, you can put hundreds of thousands in, and it can be years before you start to see money. Like, it's the consistency. It's something everyone has to be. Every single person, guys, everyone watching this, you have to beat the consistency. Because what people do, I'll tell you what people do, and then we'll interview Herman some more. They start to do things, okay, and then they make excuses not to do it. And then something shiny and easy come along and says, have you haven't had enough of doing X, Y, Z, which you're then doing? You're like, yes, I have. I'm going to buy that instead. So you buy that thing, and then you can't be consistent. Okay, and then the cycle continues. This is what happens. This is why we call it shiny object syndrome, because people just go round and round in certain buy a shiny object, thinking that's the answer. All of the answers, guys, all of the answers are internal. Okay,
Yeah,
once
true.
yeah, they're all internal. Once you realise that, the way you get past that, the way I got past it is get a coach or an accountability partner, one of the two, and read everything. Read and listen to everything. Okay,
Yeah, that's
every book. I don't know if you've read any books. Every book, every podcast. Immerse yourself in this stuff. When I wake up in the morning, if I'm like, oh man, I don't really want to do X, Y, Z today, I stick a podcast on. Within minutes, my brain is like, wow, that's clever. Yeah, ticking over, and then I'm ready to go. Okay, so find the thing that creates that excitement for the day, and you should be waking up. Not every
yeah.
day, because no one can. You should be waking up excited for the day. Okay, you learn how to do that. So Olga E says, English is my second language too, and I think also many people in OSP, a lot of people, it might even be third or fourth language. Okay,
Yeah, it's true.
it might be. English isn't my first language. Norfolk is, which is a dialect of English. um, Exactly. Lynn says persistence plus patience equals success. Yeah, that's my favorite one. Go on, Herman.
And I think I've also come to realize, because people tend to see like successful people and think, oh, look, they did it fast. But the truth is it's never like that. It always, there's a lot of work behind that they did when you were not actually seeing, when they were not maybe public or something like that, or big.
Yeah.
And by the time you see them, becoming super successful, that's the only part you see, but you don't see that everything that's under the surface, the rest of the iceberg, so to speak. And everybody does it. I see, once I made a post of looking at a bunch of affiliate marketers that are popular, especially in the Warrior Plus area, niche,
Yeah.
and the YouTubers. And I was counting the number of videos they have, at least 1,000.
Yeah.
And to make 1,000 videos, you go like, whoa, that's a lot of work. And it's not that they just went, whoa. They 1,000 videos is 1,000 videos. I mean, it takes time and effort and consistency. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to model now.
Exactly. There's a saying that I always remember. It takes 10 years to become an overnight success.
Okay.
It's the same for everyone. It's the same for actors, musicians. It's the same. It's the same no matter what you look at, guys. Sometimes sometimes it comes pretty quickly. But Valerie says consistency is hard enough. But when you don't see results, it's hard to be consistent. But the results can't be had without consistency. It's a vicious circle. I'd like to touch on that. Then I'd like your input, because this will help you, Herman. Okay.
Okay.
One of the best ways you can actually help yourself is by helping others, because your brain strings it together better. But what I found, guys, okay, it's all to do with, I don't want to overcomplicate it. Let's say it's all to do with dopamine, okay? I do not get my excitement or my dopamine hits from money, okay? That's not where I get excited. I don't get excited. I could be earning 10 times as much. I would feel exactly the same. The excitement, the dopamine hits come for me is when I try something new or do something new and we smash it, okay? That thing. So a perfect example is I've done hundreds upon hundreds of webinars. I've done more webinars probably than someone in this industry. I could literally take a subject right now, do a webinar. I've done it in the last 2 months and it made 6 figures. Okay. How are you, Ian? And I've made 6 figures in one day with a webinar I made up 10 minutes before. That 2 years ago, that was exciting. That's like, wow. Now it's kind of like, it's just what I do. So that's why I needed the live event. I needed that live event, so something new, something exciting, something at the end of it. I expected to go very wrong. I thought if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. I'm already planning 3 next year. The first one came. Lots went wrong, but it was absolutely fantastic. The feeling, it cost me money to put that event on. Okay, it cost me money to put the event on. Making money was not the goal. To connect with people was the goal. It was kind of like a Christmas party. It was a lot of things moulding on, but most importantly, it was to prove to myself that I could do it. Okay, and it was the best feeling I probably had this year afterwards. Okay, so don't look for the dopamine. You need to rewire your brain. This is a bit in depth, but you need to rewire your brain to get excited about the things you didn't think you could do.
Exactly.
Okay?
Get out of your comfort zone.
Get out of your comfort zone, like Herman is now. Beverly, for example, she done her first webinar. We went through it a few times. We wrote out an entire script. In fact, we're going to write a new one in 5 minutes with her. And we wrote out an entire script. She went live. Okay, she made money, but that didn't matter. What mattered was she done something she never thought you should do. She was texting her kids. I've done it. That's what you are. That's what you should all be chasing, because then the money will just come. The money just flow in. Okay, because you will become addicted to the result, not the money. When you all you think about is the money, and you're not earning money, it's like, well, this is just crap. Look, there's a shiny object. I'm going to go buy that. Okay, so chase the right dopamine hits. Otherwise, if you're really lazy with your dopamine, you're going to sit on Instagram all day flicking through bloody reels, which is no good for anyone.
That's right.
So, any questions? I've got tons of questions I can ask Herman, but have you guys got any questions for Herman? Maybe you can. What is your most? This is an interesting one. What is your most interesting? I'm going to say something. If you are looking for motivation, go and do something you're afraid of. Okay, seriously. If you're looking for motivation, go and do something you're afraid of until it becomes easy. And then find the next thing you're afraid of. Okay? Awesome to hear, Rose. So, Herman, what would you say? I've got a list of questions if there's none coming in.
Okay.
How would you compare? I don't know if you've done other programs, but how do you compare it to other things that are out there?
Programs that I did in the past, I did, it was not a program per se. It was more like doing reviews of launches in Munch Eye,
Launch
and
Jack.
video reviews, and setting up a website and well, I had a website with a bunch of bonuses, and I did a video review, and that actually worked. The thing is, you have to build your list, and then one thing I did once, I did a launch in, I think it was JVZoo of PLR products with another guy, with a mentor that I used to have, and that worked out also all right. So, and it was interesting. It was challenging, and I think that's exactly what you just said. Now, when you're like stepping out of the box, it's a completely different feeling. You feel like excited. It's how can I put it? It's not like you're overwhelmed because you have a goal. I'm going in that particular direction, and you have to do this and this and this and this, and you do it by this certain time. And I think that pressure kind of pushes you, and you grow. As you say, you end up growing, and okay, I can do that, and that gives you a completely different feeling. And the thing is, you have to keep doing it. Or go to the next level up. If that doesn't happen, then the feeling goes back down, and you lose the speed that you got at the beginning, right? So
Exactly. Bruce says an adrenaline rush.
Exactly.
So we'll answer one more. I've got a training to take in 3 minutes. Lynn has a question. What was it that helped you make the decision to pick the right program that helped you get towards your success?
What was I think it was books. I've always been a fan of like Tony Robbins. In the 80s, I used to read all his books and stuff like that, and I was like, whoa, this is like because it's more, especially at the beginning, it was more like oriented to life, to living, how you live your life, your mental states, how you treat with people. Don't complain all the time, see the positive in things, try to improve yourself. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up in Germany instead of staying in Latin America, because that gave me the strength and the desire and the motivation to actually take the steps, because moving from one country to another one with just a couple of bags requires a lot of mental strength, more than anything, I would say. And reading books from people that actually, like you just mentioned, read everything that might help you, right?
That's brilliant. There's a little known marksman a little known marksman strategy. We'll call it pain versus forward pacing. Okay, it's where there's two ways of writing the same thing. Are you fed up with being overweight, or can you imagine being a slimmer you? One digs on the pain. Are you fed up with being overweight? The other one forward paces you into the future. Okay. And I'm saying that because you learn a lot of what you think and a lot of what you tell yourself. So, imagine what I'm going to be like when I am slim. Imagine what it's going to be like. Look in the mirror and I am slim. Okay. If you speak to yourself like that more often, then why am I crap at this? Why am I useless? Why do I feel awful? So marketing and personal development actually go hand in hand. And if you put out there, are you fed up with being broke? What type of people do you think you're going to get? Mostly broke people. Okay. If you put out there, are you looking for financial stability? You're going to get a different type of person. You will actually get different types of people from the words that you put out there on your marketing material, for example. And it's the same with the words you tell yourself. It
Okay.
is very, very much the same of the word you tell yourself. Anyway, we could have spoke for hours in the end, mate. You done fantastic.
Thank you.
You should do this more often. You should do
Yeah.
this every single day. You should do this relentlessly. You should do this without ever worrying about being nervous, because you were fantastic.
Definitely will
Exactly.
do.
Yeah, and hopefully we enjoyed that, guys. I might change the time of these so we can have longer, because I always think, well, 30 minutes, that's long, but then you get into it and it's like I have to leave dead on the hour. But Herman, thanks for jumping on. Everyone say thanks to Herman and say well done, and that you enjoyed it. Give them that confidence boost, and don't forget, get your teams on these, guys. Get everyone on these, because the more questions we get, the more value you get. Okay, and
Exactly.
don't forget, we have got last night's training on replay inside the site if you missed it. So watch that. We've always got that training in there. And if I don't see you before Christmas, which is a week, crazy, have a good Christmas. But I will be here over Christmas, obviously with the family, on Christmas Day and all that kind of stuff. Herman, you were fantastic. Thanks very much.
It was a
Cheers.
pleasure. All right.
Thanks,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye bye. I've got to find the button.